Pain is temporary. Glory is forever. It's Ultimate Combat Radio, only on 1280 and 97.5 The Zone. Brought to you by Aztec Highway, WDFA.
Wow, what an introduction. Welcome back to Ultimate Combat Radio, brought to you by Aztec Highway. Get it your way at the highway, WDFA. Now, I don't know that was such a glorious introduction.
How do you top that?
I feel not worthy to even speak at this point. All right, our poll question, what was the most overhyped fight that you have seen? Robertine, I know you've got to have something up in there rattling around.
I already told you, any boxing. Okay. Oh, you said in the UFC.
Well, no, just any fight. So.
Any boxing, I think, is overhyped.
I will say that in recent years, aside from the Pacquiao and aside from some of the fights that he's had, I agree with you. They're really stretching it to try to make it exciting.
Well, and as an MMA fan, I mean, you get used to watching kicks and takedowns and all that, and boxing's just boring. Boring.
Well, I think it's not even that. I mean, now you're having these boxers fight 2 and 3 times the same fighter.
Yeah. They have to do that in order to make it compelling, that they have to fight over and over and over again, and I agree, man, because those are the only ones that are going to be. Fortunately for them, those have been good fights, though. I mean, they've been exciting fights, but where do you go next? You can't have a fourth version of it.
Yeah, I agree with it. They are exciting fights, but it's just a fact of, all right, we're going to see the same 2 fighters again. Yeah. Where's the new faces? Where's the up-and-coming fighters?
In the UFC.
True that.
I can only watch the same Seinfeld rerun so many times. That's what you're dealing with boxing nowadays. You're watching the same fight over and over. Now, Joe, we've got some exciting breaking news in the UFC. What's going on?
We do. Utah's very own Steven Siler got a big win in the UFC tonight. Beat Cole Miller with a unanimous decision.
That is amazing. I didn't think he'd have a chance against Cole Miller.
That's a tough fight, and Cole Miller came down to get revenge for his
brother,
for Micah Miller, who Steven Siler beat to get in the house on the Ultimate Fighter.
I just got to say, man, that's a huge win for Steven. And don't get me wrong when I say that I'm surprised by that, because Cole Miller's an established fighter, and I always look at experience. We talked about the Kofi Berkman fight last week. The big X factor there was experience, and to fight at that level, the experience usually, plays out. And boy, for Steve Siler to win that fight, I think is remarkable.
You've always said it, that he comes in and he knows he's better. He knows he's going to win.
He's got that little thing in his head that he steps in and he thinks he's better than the other guy. And sometimes you look at him going, really? You think that? But it paid off for him tonight.
It did. And hopefully it pays off for Core McGee. He's fine tonight down there on the same card. He'll be on the main card on FX.
So that hasn't happened yet.
That hasn't. I don't think it's happened yet. I don't know if there's a delay or anything with because it's in Australia. So
we have a texter that says boxing has become the golf of contact sports, which I agree, man. All right, Joe, what else is going on? Super exciting in the big world of MMA.
Let's just real quick. Let's talk about what happened last weekend.
Well, Joe, we have to. I mean, your top headline's got to be the lady fight going on tomorrow night. The Meisha Tate and Rhonda Rousey. I mean, that's got to be top of everybody's list. No,
I didn't think it'd be at top of your list. We all know how you feel about it.
Hot women beating each other up.
I've been really put off by all the kind of just, I don't know, can we use that itchy word? But just all the backstabbing, just all the bag talk and all that. These girls, they were acting like chicks.
I don't think this is even worth talking about. Neither one of them has any class. They just talk.
They're very good fighters.
Well, but still.
Yeah, well, if we were to not talk about people with no class,
we wouldn't have the show.
We wouldn't have much to talk about here. They've acted trampy, haven't they? They've acted like no class girl, and it's just kind of been off-putting to me. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a very interesting fight.
It is going
overhyped.
I think it's going to be a good fight. I like Rhonda Rousey, and I think she's tough. I mean, she's won. I think she's like 5-0 or something like that with all arm bars. Came out and
every
dominated.
time you say her name, your eyebrows go up and down.
I like
Rhonda Rousey.
I like her. So and then Meisha Tate, she's fun to watch. She's tough, so it'll be fun to watch, I think.
What else is exciting on that card? Is that pretty much it?
You got Paul Daly's fighting on the card. He's always fun and exciting to watch.
KJ Noon's
and then KJ Noon's is fighting. It's all around. It's gonna be
and it's free, right?
It's free on Showtime. So and then tonight's card free on FX2. So you got Court McGee and you have Catman versus Alves main eventing that fight, which Alves always brings it. Knockout artist. So is Catman. So it's going to be
Catman on the show.
Yes, we did, and I think he won, just like most other guys.
Well, then we're going to have to cheer for him.
I'm going with Alves on that one. Alves, they showed he weighed in last night at 170 and a half. 3 hours later, he was 27 pounds heavier.
Oh my gosh!
27
To me,
pounds?
that's not a good thing. To me, that says you had a really unhealthy weight cut, and boy, you put on a lot of water weight.
Or you ate half a cow.
Yeah, well, he's always had a hard time with his dieting, and people have accused him of doing liposuction to get down. And but he has that Mike Dolce, the Dolce diet. That's his nutritionist, and he's the one that went on and said that he put on 27 pounds. Took a picture of the scale and put it on Twitter. So
it goes to Dave Selsted's coffee shop. Is that what it is?
So yeah, tonight's gonna be a fun card. Court McGee taking on. Let me find it real quick. Robertina's taking it from me.
This other guy.
So Court McGee taking on Konstantinos Philippou.
Bless you.
I was waiting for it.
I think that we might as well just call him Roadkill.
There you go.
Because I think Court McGee's going to railroad right over the top.
All the way to the top. Where do you think Court McGee stands in that division? Do you think he can bang with the?
No, not yet. But no? I think he eventually could. I think if you know Court McGee, you know that there's no task too tall for him. But I just don't think he's there yet.
But you think tonight he's going to take the win?
Yeah, big win for Court.
All right, then we got the semifinals for the new 125-pound weight class. They're going to put a belt together for that.
See, and I thought that was a joke when they said they were going to do that. Those guys are too little to fight. You might as well put some insects in a can.
But these little guys like Demetrius Johnson been fighting the bigger guys for.
And now finally they get a fight at their better weight.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Demetrius Johnson taking on Ian McCall and Joseph Benavidez. Versus Yasuhiro Unishitao. So
it's strange that they would have Asians that small.
It's weird.
I can't have a conversation with you. And then Thiago Alves and Martin Kamen. It should be fun to watch. Check it out. It's free on FX tonight. And the prelims are going on right now on Fuel TV.
All right, well, good stuff. So that is kind of the big headline of the show, is that it's the 125-pound eliminator setting up the big, belt shot. I'm assuming.
Yes, it is, and it'll be fun. I mean, even you've become a fan of these smaller guys. There.
Oh, listen, man, I'm starting to really get into it. These guys bring it, and it's like you don't blink because you're gonna miss something. And I didn't really care much for little guy boxing because it was just. Whereas this, it's. And then they take you up and slam you down. So it's gotten fun. It's gotten interesting for me.
And then tomorrow night, I'll run down that card real quick. You got Scott Smith and Lamumba Sires, Ronaldo Souza and Bristol Marunde, Paul Daly versus Kazuya Masaki, KJ News and Josh Thompson. Should be a great fight, probably fight of the night. And then Meisha Tate, Rhonda Rousey. And I want your pick on Rhonda Rousey fight.
I think the hotter chick will win.
Who's hotter?
I think they need to squirt baby oil into the cage and let it go. To be honest with you, I just don't know enough about them. So you want me to pick something that I don't know enough about? I don't really follow the women fighting other than just when they got really snarky with each other, and that's what I kind of decided. I just didn't really want to follow this much further.
Do you think that this should have been the main event for a fight? I mean,
yeah. Well, no.
Well, compared to the rest of the card, what fight would you put main event?
Paul Daly's fought for the title before. KJ Nunes is probably the best fighter on the card.
Yeah.
I think I don't know why they would do the Meisha Tate Ronda Rousey.
They're trying to revive women's MMA. I see what they're trying to do, and but it was interesting to note that I was at a professional office setting yesterday, and somebody said, "Hey, man, yeah, I heard they've got these women fighting." This is a woman speaking. She said, "I've got these women fighting. They're on the main event, and they're it's supposed to be real exciting. I think it's about time." So if there is a women's movement, I kind of see it, but a woman's movement in a man's world is kind of, and I don't want to sound chauvinistic, but let's be honest, fighting is kind of a male-dominated arena. And so, yeah, I think they're both skilled enough that it's I can't really say it was a bad move, but at the same time, you're only going to get every once in a while, you're going to get a compelling fight like this.
And there's actually another women's fight on the same card, on the undercard.
And you don't even know the names of them.
I don't even know the name.
A couple of chicks fighting, and that's really kind of what it boils down to. And I hate to say that again, but these girls have made names for themselves. But again, who wins out of these girls in Cyborg?
Cyborg.
Okay, so I mean, really, what's the point? I mean, you're just. I think again, this hype machine. you're trying to build a couple of hot chicks fighting each other. You're not trying to build MMA. You're trying to build a couple of hot chicks fighting each other.
Isn't that all you guys need? Is someone to tell you a couple hot chicks are fighting each other?
Not me. I'm too old for that. Maybe if I was 21, I'd...
Mike's a little upset because Gina Carano's not fighting anymore. That's what it all comes down
I'll be
to.
honest with you. She's lost her appeal for me, too. Just put on a little weight. I'm not really digging her anymore. All right, we're going to talk to Tommy Gun Wagner on Ultimate Combat Radio, brought to you by Aztec Highway when we come back.